Have you ever wondered if the cities we live in could be underwater one day? Imagine waking up to find that your favorite places to visit are slowly disappearing beneath the waves. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's a reality that's becoming more likely because of rising sea levels caused by climate change. In today's video, we'll be talking about 5 cities around the world that might face this very future by 2050. These cities are already seeing the effects of flooding, and the situation could get much worse in the coming decades. Let's dive in and explore which cities might be underwater soon. 1. New Orleans, USA, a city at risk. New Orleans, a city known for its jazz, vibrant culture, and delicious cuisine, is also famous for its battle against rising sea levels. Situated below sea level, New Orleans relies on a complex system of levees and pumps to keep water out. Without these defenses, the city would face devastating floods. But even with all the protection, New Orleans is still at risk. The area around Lake Pontchartrain and other local lakes is already seeing increased flooding, and with rising sea levels, the situation could get even worse. By 2050, the city might be forced to fight even harder to stay dry. Imagine a New Orleans where the famous French Quarter is submerged or where the historic jazz clubs are no longer accessible. If the flood barriers fail, it could completely change the face of this iconic city forever. 2. Miami, USA. Miami, known for its beautiful beaches and sunny weather, might not be so sunny in the future. The city has already experienced flooding from hurricanes, but sea levels are steadily rising and Miami is sinking. In fact, the city is sinking about an inch every year, which is speeding up the effects of rising sea levels. The city is investing billions of dollars to stop the flooding, but many experts believe that it won't be enough. By 2050, parts of Miami could be underwater, affecting its iconic beaches, skyscrapers, and vibrant nightlife. Areas like Miami Beach, which are already fighting flooding, might no longer be a popular vacation destination if these trends continue. The government is working hard to develop solutions, but the future remains uncertain as the ocean inches closer to this bustling metropolis. With massive investments in new infrastructure, it might delay the inevitable, but even the best flood defenses can only do so much when the ocean keeps rising. 3. Jakarta, Indonesia. Jakarta, the bustling capital of Indonesia, is another city that's sinking rapidly. Located on the coast, Jakarta has been experiencing significant land subsidence, meaning the ground is literally sinking. On top of this, rising sea levels are making matters worse. By 2050, experts predict that large parts of Jakarta could be underwater. The city's government has already started building a massive sea wall to protect it, but the situation remains dire. Jakarta could lose some of its most iconic landmarks and neighborhoods to the ocean, and millions of people could be displaced by flooding. This could lead to a major crisis, with the population forced to find new places to live. As the city continues to sink, it may become one of the first major cities to be partially submerged, changing the landscape forever. 4. Venice, Italy. Venice, often called the City of Canals, is already known for its water-filled streets and beautiful architecture. But what many people don't realize is that Venice is sinking slowly and steadily. The city is sinking about 2 millimeters each year, and the rising sea levels are only making things worse. The situation has been getting worse over the past few decades, and it's not just the canals flooding anymore. In 2020, St. Mark's Square, one of Venice's most iconic sites, was submerged during high tides. Despite efforts to build flood barriers, experts believe that by 2050, Venice could be underwater for good. The idea of losing this historic city, with its stunning architecture and canals, is heartbreaking. If the flooding continues, Venice could become just another underwater city, lost to the rising tide of climate change. Without a miracle, we might be saying goodbye to Venice in the coming decades as the water keeps rising higher and higher. 5. Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok, Thailand's capital, is facing an alarming situation. The city is sinking at a rate of about 1 inch every year, and it's also sitting just 5 feet above sea level. Combine that with rising sea levels, and you've got a recipe for disaster. The problem is worsened by the fact that Bangkok is built on soft, dense clay soil, which makes it even more susceptible to flooding. In the next few decades, parts of Bangkok could be completely submerged. Some areas, including the airport, might be underwater by 2030. This could lead to massive disruptions, with millions of people affected by the flooding. The Thai government is already working on flood prevention measures, but experts fear that it may not be enough to save the city in the long run. As the city continues to sink, the risk of permanent flooding becomes more and more likely. What's being done to prevent it? So, what can we do to prevent these cities from sinking into the sea? Well, many cities around the world are already working on solutions. From building seawalls to pumping water out of cities, countries are investing billions of dollars to protect their populations and their landmarks. However, these solutions are not foolproof, and the impact of climate change is still growing. For cities like New Orleans and Miami, improving flood defenses is a priority. In Jakarta, the government has been working on a giant sea wall to protect the city from the ocean, while Venice has started to build flood barriers to stop the rising tides. But despite these efforts, the threat of rising sea levels remains a significant concern for many of the world's coastal cities. The future of coastal cities. What will the future hold for these cities? Will they be able to fight off the ocean and survive, or will they become lost to the rising waters? Only time will tell, but the reality is clear. Climate change is having a profound impact on the world's coastlines. Cities like New Orleans, Miami, Jakarta, Venice, and Bangkok are just a few examples of places that could be underwater by 2050. As we continue to witness the effects of climate change, it's essential for us to take action and work together to reduce carbon emissions and slow down global warming. Otherwise, more cities will face the same fate, and we could lose some of the most iconic places on Earth. So, what can you do about it? Well, the first step is to be aware of the issue. Share this video with your friends, family, and anyone who might not know about the risks these cities are facing. Talk about the importance of protecting our planet and reducing our carbon footprint. Every small action counts, and together, we can make a difference. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on climate change, global issues, and exciting travel destinations. Stay informed, stay active, and let's work together to protect the world we live in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.